Hi, and welcome to Inspiration Hour. I am so excited to be here with you today. My name is Robin Nielsen, and I'm the Chief Wellness Officer, I like to call myself, with InsuliteHealthPCOS.com. And today we're going to get inspired by the beautiful Jen Clark. I'm so excited to have her with us today. She was recommended for Inspiration Hour because she's such a rock star in our VIP Inner Circle community. She shows up. And that's what it takes to really take charge of your health, right? And heal from symptoms of PCOS and hormone imbalance. And so we want to hear how Jen's journey has been and sort of where she started and some of the things that she's experienced and what she's tried to heal herself. And then at the very end, she's going to give us her 3 tips on what you could do to just, get started on your healing journey. So welcome, Jen. It's so great to have you here.
Hello. I'm happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you. So tell us where we're connecting from. Where do you live?
I live in Northern Kentucky, just south of Cincinnati, Ohio.
I'm so glad that you told me that Kentucky is near Ohio, because I never would have guessed that. I'm so terrible with geography. Don't ask me the 50 states. Cool. So you had told me earlier that it's pouring rain there.
Yes. Yes. In fact, the Reds opening day got pushed till tomorrow. Got pushed back because it has been raining so much today. So.
All right. So you're a baseball fan?
You don't live in this area and not know what's going on with the Reds or the Bengals. So
right. I hear you. So my husband is me too. We're San Francisco Giants fans, and their opening day, I want to say, was yesterday, something like that. So yeah, it's a big deal, and it's beautiful and sunny here right now. So I'm sure they had a great opening day up there at AT&T Park or Pac-Bell Park or whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
In the city. Well, cool. Okay, so we want to hear your very beginnings. So tell us when you first started noticing, some symptoms that were not just right. Like, when did your PCOS journey begin?
Well, it began long before I even knew what PCOS was, or before any thing was diagnosed. I had my first period when I was 10 years old. And it was a constant battle from there on out. And by the time I was in high school, I was having very irregular periods, sometimes 2 a month. I never knew when it was going to start, when it was going to stop. And at that time, I got put on birth control. That was what the doctor thought was best.
So how old were you when you got put on birth control?
Oh, gosh. 12, 13.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very young. And I was on birth control until I was maybe 23.
Okay, so Jen, let's talk about that for a minute. So why did the doctor put you on birth control pills?
To regulate my period. They were so irregular, so painful. It was just a horrible experience. And especially to be, 12 years old, 13 years old, most girls didn't even know what it was. So they thought that's what was best.
Okay, great. So then you got on the birth control pills, and then what was next?
Let's see.
Did that seem to resolve some of your problems with painful periods?
Yes, the periods were a lot better, a lot lighter, definitely more regular. I stopped taking the birth control when I was probably 23, 24. Okay. My ex-husband and I were trying to get pregnant. Before that, I kind of jumped ahead here, but before that, when I was 21, I was having major cyst rupture, like constantly, and a tumor developed, and they were not able to save my left ovary. So I was 21 and I lost my left ovary. So when I was 23, 24, my ex-husband and I were trying to get pregnant. It didn't happen. And shortly after.
So Jen, I'm going to stop you again because I want just want to ask you a couple of questions. So first of all, birth control pills, they don't regulate your cycle. So it might seem like they do, but it's a completely synthetic hormone. So I don't want anyone to think that birth control pills will regulate your cycle, because it's not a normal cycle. So it forces a bleed, but it's not a normal bleed. It's completely contrived. It's a chemical, right, that is acting like your hormones, but not really. It completely suppresses ovulation. So for you, it had some benefits because it took away the pain, I think, the painful cycle and the unknown around a period, but it does not create a real cycle at all in any way, shape, or form. And then when you get off it, it can be super hard or take a long time to get your cycle regulated, because remember, it wasn't regulated before, right? And you never address the underlying cause of why it wasn't regulated. And it's funny because you get off the birth control pill and you think, okay, everything's fine because I've been having a regular cycle. That's absolutely not the case. And sometimes it can be super, super hard to figure out how to get a regular cycle finally, and then how to ovulate, and then how to have, start a family. So once you stopped the birth control, and you had lost your left ovary too, so you had a lot of things going on. So once you stopped the birth control pill at age like 23 or so, what were your cycles like?
They were pretty normal. Shortly after that, my ex-husband and I ended up splitting up, though.
Okay.
So I never went back on the birth control. Not too much longer after that, I met the man that I'm with now. We've been together 10 years, and we had been together for a year, and just not even planned, just one of those things that happened. I got pregnant, not even trying. It was the weirdest thing. But I'd say after I had Zoe, my daughter, she's now 7, things were okay for a few years. And then I'd say maybe 4 years ago, everything went crazy again. And then we were trying to get pregnant again, and we did almost everything. I was taking the I forget what Femera. I was doing the hormone injections. We were doing the ultrasounds monthly, and I was so discouraged. And then I gained so much weight on all those fake hormones, and the medication just piling up in my body. It was horrible. And I kind of just said, I can't do this anymore. If we have our one princess, if that's all we have, then hooray. And then I guess it was about a year ago, things went crazy. Oh, it was horrible. I was having the worst periods. I don't want to get too graphic, but just clots, and I'd double over, and I couldn't even function. And then last September, October, I went to my OBGYN, and there's actually a nurse practitioner there that has PCOS, and she's been amazing with trying to help me do things more naturally. But when things got so bad, the actual gynecologist said, you're going on birth control. She referred to it as anovulatory bleeding, because my body wasn't ovulating. It didn't know what was happening. So I just literally bled for 4 months straight, nonstop. And so they put me on the birth control, but I still just felt like I was falling apart. I couldn't function. I couldn't leave the house. I would just cry. Oh. I can't ever remember feeling like that ever another time in my life. It was just horrible. I had no hope for anything. And that was when my mom, bless her heart, just went to town trying to find an answer, and she found this program, and I started it in October, and It's been amazing. I've lost so much weight. My skin has cleared up. I feel better about myself. Have more, I have more energy overall. And things are great. I did stop taking the birth control in December, the end of December, beginning of January. And, it messed with me really bad. I struggled. Not only was I struggling with that, I have fibromyalgia as well. And the winters can be very hard on me. And I had some bad flare-ups, and I would go, normally I do anywhere between 6,000 and 10,000 steps a day. And I was having days where I would get like 500 steps because I couldn't do anything. I was just miserable inside and out every way. And once I got all that birth control out of my system and things kind of just worked out and stabilized, and it's amazing. I was very shocked. I've been off the birth control for 3 months now, but my cycle the last 2 months has still been 28 days to a T, and I've never had that when not on birth control. So I was shocked. But that's kind of where I'm at now, and things are going good. Still hoping to have another little one. But life is so much better now.
That's so great. So you've mentioned a lot of things. You've been through a lot, not unlike, a lot of women with PCOS. And it seems like, when it rains, it pours. One underlying thing starts happening, and then it just creates more and more and more. And unless we catch it pretty quickly, it can really snowball. So you mentioned that you started the Insulite system back in October or November, something like that?
Mid-October, I think. I joined October 4th. I'm not sure when I got the supplements actually start.
Okay.
So mid-October, maybe a little later.
So a little after that sometime. And then you mentioned that that a lot of things improved. So can you sort of give us the list of what other symptoms you were experiencing besides, you were experiencing infertility, but, real menstrual problems, and then you said your skin cleared up. So what was going on with your skin?
Oh goodness. For the longest time, my 13-year-old nephew had a clearer complexion than I did for the longest time. And I would get, it wasn't even like little pimples or blackheads. It was huge cystic pimples, and it would be this whole area. And I don't know how clear the picture is, but I have scarring all through here, and it's lightening up. It's getting better, but it would be like BBs, just big cysts all through here, and I'm not having that problem anymore at all. I might just get a little teeny one during middle cycle and maybe right before my period, but I can get ready so much faster in the morning now because I'm not having to deal with makeup and covering this and trying to hide this and that. And it's like the best feeling ever. I mean, there's days I don't even wear makeup anymore. So
gosh, how nice is that? So awesome.
Great. I don't feel like a teenager.
Isn't it amazing? Because that was my thing. I had acne, my whole life on my chest, my back, all the way into my late 30s. And it's one of those things when it's gone, it's like, gosh, how did I deal with that? What a drag. It was horrible. I mean, it dictates what you wear, whether you go out or not, the whole makeup thing, like trying to figure out how to cover it up and still feel somewhat good about yourself.
Yeah, I struggled for a long time with that. It really was, I would say that affected my self-esteem more than the weight did.
Yeah. So you had, tell us about your weight. I don't think we've talked much about that. So,
let's see.
yeah, so tell us about your weight history.
Well, I'm 5'2" on a good day, so that tells you how short I am. When I was younger, I was a size anywhere between a 2 and a 4, and that was before the size 0 existed. I found one of my old dresses in my dad's garage not too long ago, and I still was like, oh man, I fit in this once upon a time. But so, I was pretty tiny. And then when I started having problems with fibromyalgia and some depression and everything, and got put on this medication, and it made me gain a ton of weight, and then I gained more weight, and it was kind of a vicious cycle from when I was maybe, I don't know, it started probably when I was 14, 15, and then up and down roller coaster. And since then, when I started this program, I was 207. I hit it pretty good, but I would say a lot of it was, I was top heavy. I was a size F, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now I think the last time I weighed myself, I was 178. I haven't lost any weight in a while, but the weight has been just a major issue for me ever since that happened. It was not to get off track and too personal, but when I gained all this weight because of medication, I was actually put in Children's Hospital because of a family situation that caused me to have some depression and stuff. And of course, they just popped me full of all this medication to make me happy instead of really dealing with the issue. But I would say it's things are so much better now. I've gotten off track a little bit. I plan to start doing my food diary again. Okay. That helped me a lot with losing. And basically I'm either going to keep losing weight or I'm going to get pregnant. So either way, I've got something good to look forward to. Because I still want to continue to lose. I don't necessarily agree with some of the charts out there that say I should be 105 pounds again, but I would like to get back down, and that's what I tell Kyle. He's my boyfriend. So I've been telling him, I was like, I'm either going to keep losing weight or get pregnant. So I'm trying not to buy new clothes. That's why I'm in like these baggy sweatshirts. Because either way, I've got something to look forward to. So
I love how you're thinking, and absolutely. I think you can do both, because as your body keeps getting more and more into balance, the weight naturally comes off. Angie, who works for us, she was, I think, on 9 different birth control pills. They were trying to, help her regulate her symptoms. And, when she finally figured it out for herself, I don't remember how she found Insulite, but when she finally, took the natural approach over, the last few years, the weight has just naturally come off.
That's great.
She hasn't really even been working at it, because she had gained, I think, 70 pounds from all the different medications that she was put on. And it was so cool because last year at some point, her parents had a big wedding anniversary. And so she went into her closet it was a party of some kind. So she went into her closet to find a dress, and she actually pulled one out that she, hadn't worn for years. She thought, well, I'll just try this on to see. And oh my gosh, it fit. And, she was like blown away. So she had like a whole new wardrobe again from all of the clothes that she used to wear. So it's kind of like releasing weight is a side benefit of getting healthy.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's almost like your menstrual cycle. So women are so blessed in the sense that a menstrual cycle is a gauge of how well you're doing, right? It's a gauge of how healthy you are, how well you're taking care of yourself. And that's a blessing because, guys don't have that. Weight is the same thing. So if you've plateaued, you've got to figure out, okay, what is that one thing that's keeping me stuck? So we're doing the Blissful Body Challenge, right, inside our VIP community right now. And I'm trying to give things every day that could be that hinge, right, that opens the door for continued weight loss. And the way you've done it has been so awesome because it's been from a really healthy place, so you're really helping your body to get more and more balanced, and I just love that.
It's been great. Yeah, I mean, as far as the diet goes, I'm not doing the gluten, I'm not doing the milk, and things just seem to work better. And I think it's helped with my fibromyalgia as well, because I don't have all that inflammation. I did get all the blood work done that is listed on the website. And I mean, every bit of it, everything. And the only thing that came back that I needed to be concerned about was my bad cholesterol was a little high, but it was still within that average rating, but on the higher end of it. And that was it. Everything else, like the inflammation in my body was down. I mean, I can't even remember. There were so many different ones, but everything came back great. And not last month, the month before, the nurse practitioner I mentioned that has PCOS, that was trying to help me with as many natural ways as she could. She did the day 21 test just to see what was going on, and I ovulated, and I was like, I ovulated all by myself with no injections, and it felt great. So,
gosh, congratulations. I was going to ask you if you knew if you were ovulating or not. So that's pretty cool.
It wasn't this past month. I think it was the month before. I will admit I was a little disappointed when I wasn't pregnant because I got all my hopes up. I'm like, oh, I'm ovulating. Maybe it'll happen. But, I know it's not going to happen like that, and I need to chill. But,
yeah, just it's so funny. I'm sure you've heard the stories of people who tried for years and years and years, and they couldn't get pregnant, and then they finally decide to adopt, and then all of a sudden they get pregnant, right? And it's because they just let go of that expectation.
Yes, that actually happened with a friend of ours. They did that. So now they've got an older one and then 2 little babies, and I know they got their hands full, but gosh, it's just got to be amazing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just got a little bit ahead of myself, but I'm back to a good place now, and I'm looking forward to spring too. Anybody that lives in Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, you literally this time of year have everything for every season out. Like our front door, you got your snow boots, you've got your tennis shoes, you got your flip-flop. They are literally all sitting by our front door right now because this area is so nuts, and it can really mess with you emotionally a little bit because Mother Nature around here is cruel. It was 70 degrees last Thursday, and we got 5 inches of snow on Saturday.
Wow.
So I've kind of got a whole plan set. When spring kicks in, when this warmer weather in the next week or 2 kicks in, I've got it kind of laid out, and I just got to get it started. So my food diary and getting more exercise again and being outside and
excellent. Awesome.
for it.
So cool. Spring's such a great time. It's a time of rebirth, right?
Exactly.
Of
Yes.
renewal and rebirth, and it just feels so good. So give us, Jen, give us your 3 tips. So, what 3 things would you tell a woman who came to you and said, I'm really struggling here? What should I do? What are my 3 things that I should do to get started? What would you tell her?
Oh, gosh. Don't give up, because you're worth it. You are worth it. I thought for the longest time, this is it. I'm doomed. I felt like I was being punished for something and I didn't deserve it. And to be better, to be healthier, to have energy and be happy. And my mom made me see that I'm worth more than that. I don't know where I'd be without her right now. It's just, don't give up. And even if you feel down, there are people there for you. Even if it's not someone you're close to, the program is here for you. We are there for you on Facebook. If you're feeling down, share it. Let us know. We are there for you. So just don't ever give up on yourself. And then that kind of goes hand in hand with believing in yourself. You have to believe you can do it. You can do it. It's trust me, I've been there. It's so hard. I know it's hard. And you'll feel like you're just drowning in your own tears, your own sorrow, because you just don't know what to do. But you have to believe in yourself, have faith in yourself, and you can do it. If I can pull myself out of what I've been through, I know other people can. And you have to believe in yourself and have faith in yourself. And in groups like this, it's so great because we're here for you. We're here for each other. And, we all know what everybody else is going through, even though all our stories are different. Mm-hmm. We have that same goal in mind, the same want, the same desire, the same need to be better. So, and I guess the third, let people help you. And that goes along with the group as well. Even though my mom saved me with this recently, I fought her for years. I really did. She told me for years, cut out gluten, quit, no cheese, no milk, do this, do that. And it kind of took what happened to me last October for me to realize I got to listen to people. I need to, even if it's like, oh, no, that won't work for me. I need to be more open to other people's ideas and suggestions and ways of doing things, because I don't always know what's best. And there are people out there with more experience and more life experience, and that just take the suggestions. Let people help you. And if I would have really let my mom help me sooner, I should have let her. I should have listened.
Those are great tips. Oh my gosh, they're all so useful. And Jen shows up in a big way, and that's really why you're so successful. And, when we're ready, we take that next step and we show up, and you sure have done that. And just want to thank you so much, not only for being here today and sharing your story and opening your heart for all of us. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. I mean, any way I can help anybody, I'm happy to. I mean, when you guys first asked me to do this, I was kind of like, I really don't know. But I mean, now sharing everything, I hope that I have inspired, even if it's just one person, if I've inspired them to have hope and to move forward and not give up and believe in themselves, you know, that's great. That's wonderful. I couldn't ask for more. So
absolutely. And then the second thing was just thank you so much for being so supportive in our group. I mean, you've helped so many women and been such great support, and that's how we found you to invite you. So thank you again. And of course, we're standing by to help you with all of your next steps, and just love being with you on your journey. So thank you again, Jen, so much.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for showing up today. We're so grateful that you're here with us, experiencing some of these great things that happen for all of us women who, you know, want to make change and have a powerful, fulfilling life. So we're grateful for you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you in our communities. All right. Bye, everyone.